Hi guys, welcome back to Nat 5 and 5. We're going to be looking at trigonometric graphs today. I'm going to be looking at the sine graph. Okay, so you need to be able to draw and know what the sine graph looks like and all the important points. So you can see it starts at 0 here, it goes up, it comes down, it crosses the x-axis, and then it goes up again. Now this repeats itself. I'm just showing you the very basics at the moment, just what one sine graph looks like, but it repeats in both directions. I'm just going to, on the next slide, just show you all the important points. Okay, so you can see that it starts at 0 here, and it goes up to 360. So I've wrote here the period of the graph is the length of one cycle. The period of this sine graph is 360 degrees. So basically how far you have to travel to complete a full turn. And like I just did in the last slide, you start at 0, you go up, and then you go down, and then you go back up again. So that's one full cycle, and the period is 360 because that's how far you travel. I've got the top part here. It says from the midpoint of the sine graph. So if I look at the midpoint of the sine graph, which is here, like this x-axis here, from the midpoint of the sine graph, the amplitude, very important word, is the distance to the highest and the lowest point of the graph. So you can see that this is the highest point here. So the distance from there to the highest point is 1. So you can see if I go along here, the highest point there, the value of y is 1. And the lowest point is obviously here, little x here. So I go from the midpoint again down. What is the distance I have travelled? Again, this is 1, but because I'm going below the x-axis, I'm going to go along here. Your value of y would be -1. So I'm just going to look at all these points on the graph. So sine 0. So sine 0 happened right here. So if x is equal to 0, your y value is also going to be equal to 0. The next one, if x is equal to 90, so basically I've just substituted in where that sine x is. I've replaced that x with 90. So I can see my 90 is here. So I have to go up to the graph until I touch it, and then go along, and my y value is going to be 1. So sine 90, if you type it into your calculator, should equal 1. Sine 180, again, is on the x-axis, so your y value is 0. Sine 270 is here. So you're going to go down to touch the sine graph. I'm touching it there, and then you go along to read the value. And the value of your y, in this case, again, is -1. Okay, and then sine 360 is right on the x-axis, and your value is 0. Now, they are the most important points. I would say you have to be able to just draw the sine graph. So if I just said to you, go and draw the sine graph for me, you draw a quick x-axis and y-axis. Then you would draw your sine curve. So your sine graph looks like this here. And then I would want you to be able to write 0, 90, 180, 270, and 360. And then the maximum value of 1 and the minimum value of -1. That's what I would want you to do. I'm just going to show you one more thing. And this will help us when we get on to solving trig equations. So sine 30. Now sine 30, so 30 is probably about here, 30 degrees. So again, if I go up to the sine graph and read along, my answer is 1/2. So that answer there is 1/2. And if I go to sine 150, which is about here, and if I go up to the graph and go along, you can see my answer for sine 150 is also 1/2. So when your y value is equal to 1/2, you have got one answer, two answers. So sine 30 is equal to 1/2, and also sine 150 is equal to 1/2. But we'll go into that in a bit more detail later on. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Bye now.